Welcome to today's explainer. I want you to literally picture this for a second. It's pouring rain. You're dragging yourself home after a brutal 14-hour shift at a construction site. Your hands are cut up, you're covered in dust, and you know you're giving absolutely everything you have to the person you love. But somehow, it's just never enough. Well, today we're diving into the incredibly powerful story of a guy named Arjun. We're going to follow his journey from absolute rock bottom heartbreak to honestly just a massive triumph. It's a look at resilience, betrayal, and what worth actually means. So let's jump right in. Imagine finally walking into your apartment, completely wiped out from that massive shift, and you find your wife, Priya, sitting way too close to another guy. And when Arjun asks who this man is, Priya doesn't even flinch. No guilt, no hesitation. She just drops this absolute bomb: the person I should have married. I mean, wow. It's just a visceral, gut-wrenching heartbreak. She actually mocks his poverty right there, completely ignoring the fact that he was literally breaking his back just to keep a roof over their heads.
So the immediate fallout from this is just as cold as that rain outside. Arjun refuses to give her the satisfaction of seeing him cry. Instead, fast forward just 1 month, the divorce papers are signed, and he walks out of that apartment with nothing. I mean, absolutely zero. All he has is a broken heart, a tiny suitcase, and the pouring rain. His entire past is gone, and his future is this massive, frankly terrifying blank slate.
You can really see the fatal disconnect here. Look at the contrast. On one side, you've got Arjun's brutal reality, 14-hour shifts, literally skipping meals so she could eat, working every weekend. And on the other side, Priya's pure entitlement. She's demanding cars, jewelry, luxury vacations. It's the exact disconnect that led to the betrayal, right? He was investing his blood, sweat, and tears, and she was just waiting for a payout.
Which brings us to the abyss. Hitting rock bottom.
The next 12 months are, without a doubt, the darkest of Arjun's life. He's bouncing around cheap hostels, working multiple odd jobs just to scrape by, and yeah, he's crying alone. Not because he misses his ex-wife, but because the sheer emotional weight of feeling like a total failure is just crushing him. But here is where the whole thing flips. One single lunch break. That is literally all it took to change the entire trajectory of his life. While the other guys at the site were sitting around complaining about how unfair life is, Arjun refused to play the victim. He took his 1 hour of free time, sat down in the dirt, and started reading business books. He decided he was going to build a better future, one page at a time. And as fate would have it, an elderly businessman named Mr. Kapoor spots Arjun studying in the dirt during that break. When Arjun explains that he's just trying to build a better future, Mr. Kapoor smiles and drops this gem of a quote: "Most people complain, very few learn." He saw something incredibly rare in Arjun, not a guy looking for pity, but a guy hungry for knowledge. And that sparks our next chapter, the ascent, earning the future. So Mr. Kapoor actually offers Arjun a junior position at his logistics company. Now the company is struggling and the salary is tiny. Barely a step up from the construction site, but Arjun takes it in a heartbeat. And he doesn't just work hard, he is strategic. First, he completely masters accounting. Then he dives into marketing. And while everyone else clocks out and goes home, Arjun is up late studying management reports. He's applying that exact same gritty 14-hour work ethic he had at the construction site, but now he's building his own mind instead of someone else's building. He's making himself entirely indispensable. And all those late nights, they lead to this unbelievable emotional payoff. Years go by, and Mr. Kapoor calls Arjun into his office to announce he's finally retiring. He hands Arjun this folder. Now Arjun's thinking, okay, maybe I'm getting promoted, but no. Inside are the full ownership documents for the entire company. Mr. Kapoor just looks at him and says, "The company is yours, you earned it." And for the first time in years, Arjun actually cries. Not from pain this time, but from just overwhelming gratitude. It's just a staggering transformation when you look at it. Year 1, he's at rock bottom, working multiple jobs, totally alone in a dingy hostel. Year 2, he's quite literally changing his destiny during his lunch breaks. Fast forward to year 5, he owns the logistics company, and today, he has expanded that business nationwide. He is a self-made millionaire with the luxury cars, the gorgeous house, the whole shebang. It is a total 180. But it's super important to understand how Arjun actually defines his victory. To him, true success isn't about the money or the cars or getting the respect of high-end investors. No, true success is knowing he built every single bit of it from absolutely nothing. It's the character and the sheer resilience he developed by earning his new life. Nobody handed him anything on a silver platter, right? He forged it himself out of iron and dirt. Which sets up the ultimate tension-filled moment of our explainer. The climax, the reunion, and the regret. Picture this. We are at a super high-end business conference. Arjun is standing there, looking sharp in a tailored suit, surrounded by people hanging on to his every word. And suddenly, he hears a voice he hasn't heard in years. Priya. She is completely floored. She stares at his luxury watch, she sees the respect he has from the crowd, and it suddenly clicks. The exhausted, broke husband she threw away is now the exact, wealthy, successful man she had always demanded. And you can just see the regret wash over her face as she whispers, "I made a mistake." But Arjun's reaction, that's the real masterclass here. He isn't angry, he's not trying to get revenge, he is just completely calm. I mean, years ago, hearing her apologize would have meant the absolute world to him. But now, it means nothing. He looks right at her and delivers this crushing reality check. "You didn't leave because I was poor. You left because you couldn't see my worth." It's this powerful realization that her leaving had nothing to do with his potential. It was 100% about her inability to value a good man when he had empty pockets. Priya is standing there with tears in her eyes, whispering about how she wishes she could just go back and change things. And Arjun just gives her this gentle smile. He tells her, he used to wish that too, until he realized one absolute truth. Losing her was literally the best thing that ever happened to him. And with that, he just turns around and walks away. He leaves the painful past and Priya's lifelong, bitter regret entirely in the rearview mirror. And that brings us to our final chapter, resolution. Finding true worth. Because Arjun's story doesn't end with a cold rejection. It actually ends with real healing. A few months later, he meets Ananya, and she is just the complete opposite of Priya. She admired him before she ever had a clue about his bank account. She deeply respected the brutal struggles he went through. She valued his character way more than his status, and she truly loved the man behind the success. It's such a breathtaking contrast. Priya's love was completely conditional and materialistic. But Ananya's? It's genuine. It's grounded. And with her, Arjun finally gets to experience this true, unscarred happiness. There's this really beautiful moment where they're sitting together watching the sunset, and Anya asks him, if you could go back, would you change your past? Arjun just smiles, looks out at the sky and says, no, because every heartbreak led me here. He wouldn't change a single second of it. Because his absolute greatest failure and his most painful betrayal literally became the bedrock of his greatest success. So as we wrap up this explainer, let's distill what we can actually take away from Arjun's life. Number 1. Money fluctuates. It comes and goes in a heartbeat. Number 2, true value is all about character, grit, and resilience, stuff you absolutely cannot buy. And third, never, ever underestimate someone based on where they are right now. The guy covered in dust at a construction site today could easily be the industry titan of tomorrow. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative question to reflect on. Who is standing beside you on your hardest days? Because as Arjun learned the hard way, the people who show up for you when you have absolutely nothing, those are the only people who truly deserve a seat at the table in your brightest future. Take a minute to think about the true worth of the people in your inner circle, and honestly, your own true worth as well. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.